What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Leclerc series. Rewriting Leclerc's legacy is what it's called. We missed last week, but we're back again this week. And this week we're in Japan, and we are finally top of the standings. I think there's like a 15-20 point gap ahead of Verstappen. There it is. 17 points ahead of Verstappen. Perez is way too far down. You have a look at the Constructors. 3 points is the difference as well. So we could still win the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship, but don't count out Max Verstappen. He's still well and truly there. 3 wins in our last 3, 4 wins in our last 5 has really helped us get up the grid and push our way forward. And with how many races? I think it's like 4 races to go. Verstappen's still got plenty of chances. All it takes is one bad race for us, him to win, and he's back on top once again. But we head into qualifying, and I've had a bit of a nightmare. I forgot to change my engine, so I'm going in with like 65% worn engines. I'm like, hold on a second, can I change this? So we go in, change it, and we're going to have time for 1 run in Q1. If we get it done and we get through, sorted, no problem at all. If we mess it up, we're starting from the back of the grid in Japan. It's not an easy place to overtake. Yes, you can overtake, but it's going to take time. It's not like a Monza, it's not like a Bahrain where you have plenty of straights to overtake. But we should be able to get through Q1 pretty comfortably as we're rounding these corners of 3.5 tenths up on Alex Albon at Sector 1. So yeah, we're flying. It should be pretty comfortable unless we make a mistake. Remember, track limits is still a thing as well. We could spin it, but I still feel pretty confident in this Ferrari. Get through Q1, get through Q2, and really we just have to make sure we're qualifying right where Verstappen is, because the front 4 cars, they're all pretty equal. So Verstappen, he's going to struggle to get race wins. Same with us as we run a little bit wide, and it's tragedy here in Japan. Absolute nightmare. That happened. I'm like, screw this. I retired straight out, and I'm pissed. We started at the back of the grid. We took engine penalties as well, so we're going to be starting way at the back, which means we're not going to have to take any more for the rest of the season. So this is the last time we'll have to take engine penalties. And we didn't want to take him, obviously. We wanted to get through. Verstappen takes another penalty. He's taken a 5th place, it must have been. So he must have qualified P3, and now he's starting P8. But we're starting at the very back. Our teammate takes penalties down to P11. So a bunch of people taking penalties, so maybe it's not awful. If Verstappen's only starting P8, and he struggles to get through the field, he might only score a few points, and it might not be that bad of a weekend. You've got Hamilton in P18 as well, and you've got our foe, Esteban Ocon, up in P19, but we're in P20. No more penalties for the rest of the season.
We've got 5 races till the end of the season, and we're still in with a chance of taking the Constructors' Championship. Good luck.
So my race engineer is just focusing on the Constructors' Championship. Doesn't even mention anything about the Drivers' Championship. Not that we're in a tight battle with Verstappen or anything, but I guess for the team, the main focus is the Constructors. It'd be great if we can win both of them. And it's against this man right here, Max Verstappen. He's on the mediums. We're starting on the hards. One of the only cars on the hards. And the reasoning behind this was we start on the hards. We got a bunch of cars misplaced, like Hamilton in 18th. You have like Sainz in 11th, Verstappen in 8th. It's going to be hard to get past them on the mediums anyway. So start on the hards, go through that tough stage first, and then we'll have the faster tyre towards the end of the Grand Prix as we are underway in Japan. And it's not the best of starts. It's more of a cautious start, I guess you could say. We don't want to spin. We don't want to make contact. We're trying to keep our nose clean through this first lap or 2. And then after a couple laps, once the tyres are heated up, and these hards start to get into their element, we can push on through and make a few overtakes. And I tell you what, Esteban Ocon in P19, we know what's happened with him before. If you watch the first episode, you'll know that he did punt us off the track in France, so we had to do a bit of a comeback drive there, and we only finished P7. So getting past him might be tough work. Lando Norris leads us away, though. You got George Russell P2, Daniel Ricciardo P3, Perez in P4. That could be a little problem in the Constructors with Perez up in the P4 and Verstappen P8, and our teammate only in P11. But we're looking at a move once again around the outside of Esteban Ocon. Getting a bit racy early doors. We're not doing anything silly. If we see the gap, we're going to go for it. But we're not going to risk it because it's a long race. And this is all about damage limitation here in Japan and not to lose too many points to Verstappen. We want to still walk out of here as the leader in the World Drivers' Championship as Ocon gets back past us. So he's not making it easy at all. We've got that extra bit of pace. The Ferrari is quite a bit faster than the Alpine as we look for another move down the inside of Esteban Ocon. 2 cars around here. We kind of back out of it. We almost collide, so we had to be a little careful. But now we're going to go down the inside. We don't want to lose this battle to Ocon. We want to show him who's boss. We go for a little switchback move. Oh, that looks beautiful. And on the exit, we've got decent traction. We're going to have the ERS. We're going to have the pace. The Ferrari is much quicker than that Alpine. See you later, Esteban. But that was a great first lap battle. You know, you can't get much better than that. And the 4 cars, really, that are up there. It's us, McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes. There's not much between us at all. And you can see McLaren is probably actually the fastest car right now. You see Lando Norris P1, Ricciardo P3. It's rapid. It is rapid. It's probably been the fastest since Hungary. And Lando Norris, he might actually be able to get his first race win this time if he doesn't make a mistake and the car doesn't screw him over. But back to us. We're in P18 and we're just making these overtakes. It's down into this final chicane is when we get them done. As we look for a move, and that actually gets Tsunoda to go for a move on Lance Stroll. And we're going to try and get past these back markers as quick as possible. Hamilton's got through them pretty quick on the mediums, but lap 6, we want to start getting past these on the hards. Their mediums are going to start wearing away in the next few laps as we look for a move down the inside of Lance Stroll. Through we go. Magnus on the outside. He actually slides a little bit and spins the car, so that's another car through. Up into P16. Thank you very much. We're going to have a look at what happens to Magnussen here. As he goes around the outside, he just gets on the curb and loses it. Him and Tsunoda were going side by side. Does well, actually, to reverse out the way of the oncoming traffic. But it's a free place for us. We will happily take it. Verstappen, you can see he's up there only in P7. It looks like he's kind of getting held up by Mick Schumacher, which is good news for us. As there's another move on Yuki Tsunoda. Thank you very much. Lap 8, we've got several overtakes done. Hamilton is out of the Grand Prix now. He had a DNF. We didn't see that, but yeah, he got DNF, I guess, on lap 7, lap 8. So that's another car that we don't have to worry about. Up into P13, absolutely loving life. And we're coming up to this train of cars. Guan Yu Zhou, Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon, and Valtteri Bottas. Our teammate, Carlos Sainz, he is stinky. He is stinky. He can't make a move. I'll tell you what, Verstappen can't either. The AI are really struggling to make overtakes here in Japan. But Carlos Sainz, only P10. He's on the medium tyre. He's getting DRS down the straight. He just can't make the move past Guan Yu Zhou. I mean, same with Max Verstappen. Mick Schumacher's basically doing us a fantastic job. Haas have probably told him, look, Ferrari are an engine supplier. Hold up Verstappen for all you can, and he's doing a fantastic job. As we look at another move at Valtteri Bottas around the outside, late on the brakes. See you later. Bottas, a clean driver. He lets us through and up into P12, and we're closing in on our teammate. We're going to be overtaking our teammate on track very, very soon. He started P11. We started at the very back of the grid on the hard tyres. So his lack of overtaking skills is really costing him, because there's a huge gap in front of him. He gets past Zhou, then he can gain that 3 seconds to the AlphaTauri, get past him, and then he's back onto the back of Max Verstappen. And it's not ideal, actually. Even though we'll score, if we can beat him, we'll score more points. We're trying to fight for the constructors as well. We need him up there, beating Max Verstappen. But it's not happening, as some cars come in, and Carlos Sainz actually is into the pits now. We obviously continue. We're going to pit around lap 15, lap 16, maybe lap 17 if we could push it that far. But these hards are struggling a little bit. So a bunch of the medium runners now coming in. And you got Verstappen up in P6, still stuck behind Mick Schumacher before their pit stop. So I wonder if they're going to pit at different times. Maybe Verstappen pits first, goes for that undercut. Or Mick comes in and Verstappen stays out another lap. But knowing the AI, probably both come in at the same time. Make absolutely no sense. Lando Norris almost running away with this victory. P1, you got George Russell P2, Ricciardo P3. And the good part about having those cars ready to battle out in front, or those cars that have good speed, they're taking away points from Verstappen. This is even if Verstappen didn't take that penalty, he probably wouldn't be P1 and he wouldn't be able to score that many points. So having the McLarens up there and the Mercedes fighting for race wins is kind of helping us a little bit, as it could take points away from Verstappen. Of course, it takes points away from us as well, but when we're starting P20, We want them taking as many points away from Verstappen as possible, as he's only in P7. And we're coming out the pits. You see Verstappen down the straight now. Same with Mick Schumacher. Verstappen actually jumped him after the pit stops. And you got Pierre Gasly in P9. If we can get out ahead of Pierre Gasly, we can maybe make a charge to Mick and Max as Gasly goes around the outside. Oh, he's done exactly the same what Magnussen does. And I tell you what, that was a heart in the mouth moment. I thought we were going to hit him. So we've got away with that. I'm not sure about Vettel, though. He's not right behind us. What's happened here? So Gasly, he sees us coming out of the pits. He's going wide. He goes wide to give us room, and he just drops it. I tell you what, that was very, very close to us, and I don't know what happened to Vettel there. I think Vettel avoided him. Did he do a good job avoiding him? Let's see. Carlos Sainz, he's behind Sebastian Vettel. Vettel runs wide as well. Vettel basically spins, and it turns into a great dodge. I mean, fair play. He's kept it on the track. Fair play to Sainz as well for not crashing into Sebastian Vettel. But we'll take it. We'll move on. Lap 19 up into P8. Damage limitation. We've got 4 points right now. We could definitely close in on Russell. Could definitely close in on Mick Schumacher as well. But Carlos Sainz following Vettel. Vettel has had a failure, and I think Sainz might have hit him. Did Sainz hit him as he went past? Surely not. Oh, he did. Carlos Sainz, mate. Carlos Sainz. He's damaged his wing. I don't think... Can he continue? He should continue, but it looks like he's lost all pace, and yeah, he's going to come in. He's coming in. So Carlos Sainz, 0 points in Japan. I mean, that's Ferrari's luck right there. So Carlos Sainz scoring 0 points, and now we're going to have to bring home the points for Ferrari to try and keep us close to Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. There is 4 more races after this, so there's plenty of time to get the points back, but I mean, what is he doing? How has he hit Vettel when he was... I don't get it. All right, well, we're moving on. We got Russell in our sights. We get past Russell. We'll have a chance on Schumacher as we actually do a very similar thing to Carlos Sainz. I think we get away with it. I don't think we get any damage, but we hit the back tyre of George Russell and we don't get damage. So, I mean, maybe we could have a go at Carlos Sainz all we want, but we pretty much did the same thing and we got lucky. We got away with it. But we're through up into P7 ahead of Russell. And now Schumacher, with 2.5 laps ahead, is about 2.5 seconds ahead. So we've got to gain about a second a lap and still overtake him on track as we're closing in. And we just have so much more grip on these mediums than he does on those hards. Plus, he's in a Haas. We're in a Ferrari. We're going to be quicker than him anyway. The Haas is probably like the 6th fastest car in the grid, so he's actually done a phenomenal job to be sitting P6 with a lap and a half to go, but we're chasing him down. We're not going to allow him to take a P6. If we can get P6, we're going to lose 2 points. 2 points to Verstappen in the championship charge, which is going to be absolutely brilliant considering where we started. We took all our penalties. We don't need to take any more penalties this season, and we're coming for that Drivers' Championship, but we've got to get past Mick Schumacher first. As down the inside we go, and it's a pretty simple overtake. I don't know what took Verstappen so long early doors. We leave Schumacher the room on the outside if he was going to stick it, but he just allows us to go past. He says, look, I'll take the points for P7. You could go ahead and have P6, because that is crucial for our championship. But the man of the day, Lando Norris, winning by over 10 seconds. He finally gets that first race win in Formula 1. Sergio Perez somehow gets up into P2, so fair play. Perez gets P2. Verstappen's going to come home in P5, and we're going to come home in P6. So a bad day at the office for Ferrari when you're looking at the constructors' standings. But I think that's a very good day at the office for us in the World Drivers' Championship standings, because we only lose 2 points to Verstappen because after starting from the back of the grid, Verstappen started P8. If you tell me we're going to finish 1 place behind him, P5 and P6, I'd have taken it, and we have got it here in Japan. Lando Norris, so top of the podium, Perez P2, and I'll tell you what, Ricciardo in P3. You're going to like to see that once in a while. Daddy Rick getting on the podium. So it's good to see that Lando's teammate is doing something, because our teammate isn't. He finished like P18, P17 in the end. So a poor day for Carlos Sainz. So we actually took fastest lap here. So P6 with fastest lap. We've lost 1 point to Verstappen this weekend. 1 point to Verstappen. And the gap is now 16 points. So a fantastic weekend from my side of things. And I'm happy with it. I'll take it. 16 points, 4 races to go. Let's go. We can do it. Ferrari versus Red Bull in the Constructors though. 22 points. we could gain that easy. A couple race wins and we're back on track. So it's looking good for us this season. 4 races to go. If you're excited for them, make sure you go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.